That's exactly why it's crucial to hire an expert here at Black Diamond Services. The reason for that is that that verbiage under the insurance policy, the way I look at it is that it's an impossibility. How in the world can an insured incur the cost of an ALE if the insurance company is underpaying them to make the repairs? It's impossible. So that is why hiring an expert that can give you comparables within the area to show the court, to show the jury, if necessary, if this case does go to trial, or even to show the insurance company that this is what it could cost once they get the money to make the repairs. That is key to your case. To me, it's a no-brainer, and this is why I just don't understand why a lot of attorneys have not done this. In anything that we do as attorneys, we know that it is important to have an expert that understands the policy language, that understands what is required to be able to advocate and support your position. When we go to court, it is an expert that we rely on based on his opinion to support anything that we do. This is why I know it is crucial. And actually, the insurance companies do not have experts to rebut the fact that an ALE is required. This is why I think it's important. The benefit of having an expert is having it hold up in a court of law. First of all, I guess the first thing we would say is that it gives you leverage for negotiations. That's number one. You're one step ahead of the game. So having an expert not only shows the insurance company that you have someone that's going to support your position, but when you go to court and when you have to try the case, having an expert to tell the jury about what is I would say, the real estate market looking like in the event that they have to move out to make these repairs is crucial to win your case. At this time, the insurance companies do not. So let me give you a little background about myself. So I was a senior manager for one of Florida's largest insurance company. As I sit here today, I will tell you that that is not something that they are prepared to defend. It is because it's not one of the coverages that has ever been asserted. And if it was asserted by plaintiffs' firms, they do not follow through with it because the insurance company keeps on saying, oh, it must be incurred. But again, I urge you to think about that. How can your client incur the cost of living in another home when they have not gotten the necessary amounts to make the repairs? No, our experts are qualified adjusters that have handled hundreds of claims for the insurance company. Who better than to support your claim for ALE than these adjusters that have handled claims for the insurance companies? That's a very, very good question. So our ALE experts are able to maximize your claim value. Whereas other experts that you hired for the case, they solely deal with the causation aspect of your claim. So when I talk about causation, what do I mean by that? When you hire an expert, that expert is there to say whether or not the event that you claim occurred actually occurred that caused the damage that you're seeking repairs. Whereas an expert solely for ALE increases your case value. That expert is there to say, look, if these repairs are necessary and these repairs are made, then it will be necessary for that insured to move out of their homes and live someplace else while those repairs are being done. And that is why that's important, because that coverage is a separate coverage under the policy. So now you have an opportunity to tap into that separate coverage under the policy. Okay, ideally the best time to bring an expert into the case is as soon as you know that you're going into litigation. As soon as you know you're going to litigation, you should reach out to Black Diamond Services so that we can look at the public adjuster's estimate and advise you as to what are the comparables around the areas and so forth. However, depending on the county that you're in, Every county in any court that you go to provides you with a trial order. That trial order has specific deadlines as to when an expert disclosure should occur. An expert disclosure, as you all know, is a disclosure where you're disclosing the experts in your case. That is the absolute deadline that you have to disclose any experts that you bring onto the case. So at the very latest, by the deadline on your trial order. But I would urge you that once you know that your case is going to litigation, that you reach out to Black Diamond Services so that you can retain one of our adjusters. Okay, so once you get our report, I think the most important thing is to make sure you disclose the expert. You must look at the requirements under the trial order to determine what that court is requiring you to do. Every court has different requirements. They require you to attach a copy of the CV, a summary of the testimony. Some courts, like Broward County, require that you provide 2 dates when the expert is available for his or her deposition. They also require you to respond to standard answers to expert interrogatories that you can find under Rule 1.280. So my suggestion and my advice is that once you get a report from Black Diamond Services and you disclose your expert, make sure that you're not only disclosing your expert, but you're producing that report to the other side so that they are prepared to depose your expert if necessary, and or prepared for any mediations that you may set up as a result of the expert report. It's not necessary. It's not necessary for Black Diamond adjusters to inspect the property. Why is that? Because all we need to do is look at what your public adjuster is stating that is going to require in order to have those repairs done. So once we review the public adjuster's estimate and we determine that these repairs are in fact extensive, we do a thorough analysis to understand whether or not those repairs that are outlined in the public adjuster's report are extensive enough to warrant the insured moving out of their home. So once we've established that, then we look at the comparables in the areas, and that's how we prepare the report. It is not necessary for us to go to your property or to your insured's property to look at that, because we're not the public adjuster in the case adjusting for causation. We are there only to adjust and explain to a court, a jury, the insurance company, how much it will likely cost if the insured has to move out of their home.